Fringe. A party breaks out while you're wearing it. One of its fringe benefits. I'll show you how to use it. Coming up. Hey, Chanel here, bringing you weekly videos to help you get better and better with your fashion sewing. And be more creative too. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. So what is fringe? It's I don't know. It's like some kind of little strings that are attached to a band, or they're actually, this is all woven in. I wonder how they make this. Pretty complicated it looks actually. And these things get all over the place. So they're hard to, they're easy to sew in. You sew them in like piping and all, but you just get this into the seam allowance, but these things will get all over the place, so you have to have control of it. And if you're doing a long edition of fringe, you have to be patient if you're going to be putting them in. So we see a lot of fringe. They were on Western clothes, right, on the yokes of shirts. And then I love this one. It's on the yoke of a jacket, and it goes through all the way, and also this V part had to be pretty hard, and all the way through the sleeve. Crazy how they got that. They might have actually sewn it on top of the garment, if I'm looking at it, and then they put a beaded trim over that. But that's got to be really fun when you put your hands out, and then you have a lot of, I'm gonna have to do that to one of my jackets. Cut it. This is a garment I found in my closet. I bought it last spring, and I forgot it has all this fringe on it. So this is a pretty fun little garment. Actually, I'll show you how they actually sewed this on top. Oh my gosh, now I'm lost with it. But it's actually, look at the fringe. It's a, actually I'll have to show you on the, blah, blah, blah. This is how sewing with fringe feels actually. You're like trying to put it on. I don't use it often because it does frustrate you, but I love this one. It has a pattern and then the fringe. And this was actually sewn directly onto the shirt, and there's a little tiny, overlock right here that they just, because I was like, how'd they get that on? Because usually this is enclosed into a seam, but there's no facing on this, and just really, finely done. That had to be kind of hard to sew because it's very tiny, and you didn't want any of that overlocks to slip, and then have all that fringe all over the place. But this is a real fun little garment that you just throw on a little poncho thing, and then it makes it fun. I actually made this skirt a while ago. This is called the Chloe 2, and I added this ribbon fringe to the bottom of it, so it was a way to kind of add some fun to it. And it doesn't fit me, so I never finished it. So I'm like, what's the use? I'm just going to pin it on. But I think I have to hand sew this on right here. So there's the edge of that, and then I wanted it to just go out, kind of cover the hem part there. It's kind of a pretty edge. I could have probably put it right on top, but I don't like that part to show. I like it to look like it's coming out of the seam allowance. But this is just ribbon. Like this, you could make your own very easily. And it's just like two ribbons, or it's like ribbon tied this way and sewn in, and then, wow. And then, yeah. And then actually, I would probably angle this too, like the cut, so it wouldn't fray right here. But that's a ribbon fringe, really fun. And then I had feather. Now this is feather, but you can kind of treat it like fringe. And this, I can't touch it because it'll turn my hands black right away. Feather. So I had, the reason I'm showing you that is because I had the same skirt here that you've probably seen hanging here a lot. And I put this on snap tape when I can't even touch it right here. So it's on a snap tape. So I could take it off and add another, this is a lace, so it's not a fringe, but I can add this, like here, it looks kind of like fringe, and then I enclose it. Actually, I put the snap tape here. I have it, I don't know what I did with it. It's around there somewhere. That skirt fits me. I haven't worn it yet, though. I really need to wear that. Anyway, so fringe looks like this. This is actually has a stretch to it, so you could actually put it in a stretch garment. You'd have to like stretch it, while you're sewing it into the seam so that it goes that way. But also these loops right here, if you see that, that's just because you cut these yourself. You just get it in here and clip, 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 clip forever. you clip it, and then you have, see, I clipped one. I don't know what happened to that one. Oh, look at this. It might have slid out of here. I don't know. Actually, but you just clip it. And I think that's the one I clipped. Oh, well, it's falling apart. The reason they loop them like that is that's how they make them. They just loop them up like that so they don't have fringe all over the place. And then it doesn't fray. And you can actually, it's easier to sew in also that way, and then you go clip it yourself, but it takes a little bit of time to clip them out. Then I have, this one has a wide band on it, and this is like a twisted cords in it, a little different kind of fringe. You might see this more in upholstery stuff, like pillows maybe. I don't know about on a garment. And then you'll also find fringe that will look like this. Ooh, stuff's crazy. Right, like that, and it has that white, so the borders here, and they also, by the way, fringe comes in many different lengths. You'll have like a 1 inch, 2 inch, this is probably about 4 inch fringe. So if you're actually making like a 20s Charleston dress, you could do the 4, or just do probably a lot of 4s, and then you layer them, or a 4 and a 3, and just get them in different widths. But this white right here is a chain stitch, and you actually have to just undo the chain. I think I get one of the threads, and then you pull right here, and then, well, sometimes it works, and then it comes off, and then your fringe is released. That's a way of controlling it while you're sewing it, and then when you're done with sewing, then you unleash it. Then we found beaded trims, or fringes, trims, and then this one's really pretty. This is pretty on a dress. You see this in upholstery. You see it in pillows like that. But this would be really pretty on a dress. And here's another one. I actually have a lot of this. I gotta do something really fun with this. And I love the pattern that it's in. Look at all the beads. I just love that pattern. And we have I had this for a long time. Different beads right here in colors. So not only for pillows. And then this one is really cute, and they come in all kinds. So look in your trim shops, and they'll just come in. You can actually online just find all these trims. This is a feather. It's a trim, but treat it like fringe. So it's got little feathers in it. I'm afraid to touch that stuff. And look at this skirt right here. We've got, like, you can actually, a lot of these you can make yourself if you get that pleather, and you just got to slice all of them, and really accurately too. So you can have to mark it, and got to be good at it. This I love because it's my patchwork favorite, but look at that long fringe on there. That had to be, I don't even know. My photo is a little fuzzy. I blew it up, so I can't really tell what it is. I have to go back and study that, how they did that. I gotta do something like that. It'd be really fun. This is a skirt using these beaded trims right here, and also like this fringe will come in like silver metallics. They're just, I mean, it's endless. And I love this tie-dyed. It's not tie-dyed. It's probably bleach sprayed with the black, and because the black turns like rusty color like that, and then it's got the fringe on the edge. That was probably just a knit, because you can, trim and fringe knits. You just cut them, and then you kind of pull them, and they'll coil up a little bit. And I love this skirt too. Looks like this was a fringe from a fabric also. I don't know, but that would be pretty in all these fringes. So fringe is, do I have any more? That was it. I don't know. Now you're going to be looking around and go, where's the fringe? And you'll find stuff. But just Google fringes. Go into, find some trim shops and go what kind of fringes you have. Or if you're in LA or New York, I know they have just stores just for trim. And go and look for all the fringes and see what's available and try it. It's really fun. It just makes, especially if you put in a skirt, just fun dancing skirt. Actually, I have my little skirt back there with the circular ruffle on it. That'd be kind of fun to maybe put fringe on top of that ruffle. That would be interesting. Huh. Anyway, so let me show you real quickly how to set a fringe into a seam allowance. All right, to show you how to enclose this fringe, I have this old piece of fringe that's been tousled around in a trim box for a while, and it's fallen apart. So I'll use it to show you as a sample. And so basically you want to enclose the fringe into a seam allowance, not sew it on top of the garment, because you don't want that trim to show. In some cases you see it, but usually it's enclosed into a seam allowance. So you're going to find that border part there, and then you're going to take your garment or your fabric, and you're going to put right sides up, and then you're going to mark a 5/8 inch seam allowance where this fringe is going to go, so that we have it right there. And then you just place. Also, there's really no right and wrong side, obviously, to the fringe, but there is a right side here, so I guess it really doesn't matter. So you're going to just place the trim edge right there, right alongside here. So you want the fringe to start right along there. And you're going to pin it down and go and baste it. I'm actually going to pin this in the direction I'm going to sew. So if my machine is here, I actually want the fringe to go out to the left, and then I'll pin it here, because you don't want this fringe going through the archway of the machine, because it will get all over you and it will be hard to control. So this fringe will kind of get all over the place when you're sewing it. So you just want to really have your pins in the direction you're going to sew, and then you're just going to go and baste this really close here. And these are going to want to go all over the place, but you just baste it down right close to the edge. I'm going to go and do that. Okay, so I have just my regular presser foot on, and I'm just putting on the longest stitch. So I really want I'm going to use a zipper foot later, but right now I just want it to sew it down. And just take it slow. It starts to want to stretch like that. And my goal is to get it right on that line, so I can see through it there. And also not get, see how it's stretching here, also not get these fringes caught in my seam. So it looks really weird when the little strings get all over the place. Right there. Just baste this. Okay, almost done. Okay. Now I have it basted right there. That. Now I can enclose it with the other piece of fabric. All right, have that basted on there. I think I'm pretty accurate. Got it right on the 5/8. It might be a hair over. Oops. You could even mark it a half and just sew it there if it doesn't go real straight. Then, because what's really important part is you follow your 5/8 inch seam allowance if you want your garment pieces to fit right. So now you're going to take your fabric and put right sides together. So this is the right side and the right side. So I got wrong side up, and I marked 5/8 there. And now I'm just simply going to follow the instructions of the pattern and pin this right on its seam allowance, pulling the pins in the direction you're going to pull out. Now it's a little bit easier to sew because that fringe is staying sandwiched in there. And the goal is to get your seam right on the edge of that trim there. And you don't want it to peek out a little bit. You don't want that trim part to poke out. Right, I'm gonna go and sew this. All right, I was thinking I was gonna use a zipper foot, but this isn't cording. It's just fringe. It's actually pretty flat. So I'm just gonna sew right on my mark. I might wanna do like a hair past. I don't know. Let's do the usual reverse. And you would set it also to your regular stitch. I like to sew like on 3 or 3.5. And just sew the hair past or right on it. I don't feel like I got mine exactly on it, so I'm just going a hair past. And this way the fringe is now at the end right here. I'm having trouble, but it just wants to go everywhere. Hard to control. And then there's a reverse. Pick it up, cut it, and then it got sandwiched in there, like that. The goal is not to get these all caught, because boy does that happen. Looks great. Well, there you have it. Enclosed and secretly put into the seam allowance. Really cute. Like that, you just baste it on. That really helps. If you try to just pin it in there, it slides all around. Just baste it first. What are you gonna do? Anyway, so if you learned anything new, give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and show me some pictures. Go on to my website or Facebook, Future Fashion Designers. Love to see anything fringe that you made with fringes, and if you've seen any unique fringes out there, I'd love to see them, because I think I'm gonna have to make some of them with fringe. I haven't done that for a while, so I did it with that one skirt that I have, but it wasn't mine. Anyway, so I will see you in the next sew bit.